Iowa Heartland Habitat for Humanity has been in this community since 1990. So this year we're celebrating 34 years of building homes, communities, and hope. Habitat's core focus is really building stability for families through affordable home ownership. So that's been really at the heart of what we are about since the very, very beginning. And we really believe that home ownership and affordable home ownership provides stability for families really for generations to come. And it's a really important piece of the work that we're doing. But our work has really evolved over the years and has extended beyond just the home ownership piece. When I first came to Habitat back in really the end of 2013, there was a pretty significant movement happening within the Habitat network, I would say, and there were a lot of information going on around neighborhood revitalization. This was a new term for me. It was something that I wasn't very familiar with, and so we dug in to kind of learn more about what that really entails. And what I found is that that is really built on a foundation of what we call asset-based community development and principles around asset-based community development. But the concept is really this idea of holistic neighborhood redevelopment, where a lot of times when you see a neighborhood that's maybe in distress and people from the outside start coming up with all kinds of solutions and ways that things can be done to benefit the neighborhood, but one really crucial and important step that they miss is really talking to the families that are living in the neighborhood, the residents that are already investing there or have been there for a long time, and really trying to get their perspective on what's been happening in their neighborhood and how they're experiencing what's been happening in their neighborhood, and seeing that perspective. So asset-based community development, neighborhood revitalization, the way we do it, really starts with the residents first and learning what their gifts are in their neighborhood, what concerns they may have, what their dreams are for their neighborhood, and then building out coalitions and connections and all kinds of resources from there. We started engaging with real neighborhood revitalization a few years ago after we were introduced to the concept in one of our neighborhoods in Waterloo, which was the Walnut neighborhood, where there were folks, a couple of churches that had already come together doing asset-based community development work through Christian community development, or CCD, principles in that neighborhood for quite some time before we even got invited into that process. And they had laid a lot of groundwork in Walnut for that work to happen.
So what that's meant over the last couple of years is not only assessing and evaluating how things are going in Walnut in a holistic picture, but also implementing that here in this neighborhood, Church Row, which we're adjacent to as partners and neighbors. So it's been really neat to see that expand in both neighborhoods, in both social, economic, and structural indicators of community life, but really truly starting from the social, knowing that we can't invest in all these areas if we don't have residents there at the table saying, this is my neighborhood, this is what I care about, this is what I want to see happen. But also just showing up over and over, showing people like, yep, we're here, I support this, I care, I'm gonna do what I can to help. So that in itself is, you see the change happen when you know people can trust you, and I think it all really does hinge on trust, because we can't do this work without forming trusting relationships.
Iowa Heartland Habitat has been very proud of a long-standing relationship that we've had with the Community Foundation of Northeast Iowa, really in a multitude of ways. So first and foremost, a lot of consistency around, grant funding over the years, which we've really appreciated, not just locally in Blackhawk County, but certainly through our rural counties as well, and good financial support that we've been able to receive that way. But in addition to that, we do have multiple endowment funds that are set up through the Community Foundation. We've really appreciated the opportunity we've had to build those with the Community Foundation partnership. But also I would say for us, in times in our past where we were going to start something new, and we needed a partner to come alongside and to say, hey, we've seen what you've done in the community. We know that, what you guys are about, how you go about your work. We trust you, and we want to invest in startup of something or in a new initiative. So great to know we had a partner locally that, we could just say, here's what we really need, and they would respond. So it's been transformative to our affiliate, our Habitat affiliate, and to us as individuals to be a part of this holistic neighborhood revitalization work. But ideally, it's been transformative to the community and to the residents that are here. And the piece that I feel like we hear time and time again that is happening through this intentional process and this intentional work is really that building hope piece. And so time and time again in the work that we're doing, that restoration of hope so it is really the most important piece.